Now, that's wraps up, the intro is longer than that, obviously. But now we're going to go to the book itself, which again is written by this soldier, Dawson. And it actually starts with his training. So, and he was from England and he lived in Canada. But he ends up joining the military because, Canada was supporting and helping Britain in the war. And he'd actually traveled to New York. He'd lived all over the place. But now he's going to boot camp. And we'll take it back to the book. When I had been medically examined, passed as fit, had donned a uniform, and commenced my training, I learnt what the enduring of hardship was. No experience on active service has equaled the humiliation and severity of those first months of soldiering. We were sneered at, cleaned stables, groomed horses, rode stripped saddle for 12 miles at the trot, attended lectures, studied till past midnight, and were up on the first parade at 6 o'clock. No previous civilian efficiency or prominence stood us in any stead. We started robbed of all importance. I love that. We started robbed of all importance. So that thing you have that's an ego? Yeah, it's gone. Just get rid of that. And only gained a new importance by our power to hang on and develop a new efficiency as soldiers. And you've heard me say that before. Like when I joined the military, that's one of my favorite things about it is it was like a blank slate. Like everything you did in your past, all the stuff you've been through, little trouble things you've done, it's all gone. What matters now is what you do here. When men went sick, they were labeled scrimshankers and struck off the course. It was an offense. It was an offense to let your body interfere with your duty.
Dang.
If it tried to, you must ignore it. If a man caught cold in Kingston, what would he not catch in the trenches? Very many went down under the physical ordeal. Of the class that started, I don't think more than a third passed. The lukewarm soldier and the pink tea hero who simply wanted to swank a uniform were eventually choked off. It was a test of pluck, even more than of strength or intelligence, the same test that a man would be subjected to all the time at the front. In a word, it sorted out the fellows who had guts. Guts isn't a particularly polite word, but I have come increasingly to appreciate its splendid significance. The possessor of this much coveted quality is the kind of idiot who, when his legs are smitten, will fight upon his stumps. And I actually when I read this, I was like, man, is there some archaic term of idiot? Why is he using that word? And there was none. Like that's what he means. It's like a guy, and we say this in SEAL training, like if you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough. Yeah. And that's kind of what he's saying. Like these guys will go and they will not stop. And that's what guts is. The Tommies, and that's a slang word for the British soldiers, whom we were going to command, would be like that. If we weren't like it, we wouldn't be any good as officers. This artillery school had a violent way of sifting out a man's moral worth. You hadn't much conceit left by the end of it. So I can only imagine, we have a very politically correct military system now, and it's getting, I can't imagine what these soldiers went through. I mean, just unleashing these veterans on them, coming out and trying to get them ready for war. I bet it was brutal. And it sounds like it was brutal. And it sounds like it did a very effective job of getting rid of the weak, of making your ego completely go away, getting rid of any form of conceit that you had.